tell you something most people never realize until it's too late. Comfort zones kill dreams. You can't grow where you feel safe, chase destiny while holding hands with security. And you can't live your purpose sitting in a chair labeled someday. That chair is comfortable, yeah. It's also the most dangerous place in the world because while you sit there, time doesn't stop. The world keeps moving. Opportunities pass. Dreams, they start to fade quietly like a song you once loved but forgot the lyrics to. I've seen too many people get trapped in that comfort zone, have ideas, vision, talent, but they never step out. They wake up, go to the same job they hate, hang around the same people who talk about what they would have done. And at night, they convince themselves they're fine, that they're okay living small, being safe, comfortable. But deep down, they know they're not fine. They know something inside them is restless, burning. There's more for you than this. You ever notice how comfort tricks you? It gives you a false sense of peace. You feel calm because nothing's changing. Calm isn't peace, it's stagnation. Real peace comes from progress. Real peace comes when you're becoming who you were created to be. But comfort keeps you exactly where you are, and it tells you that's enough. It tells you to be realistic, to play it safe, to wait for the perfect moment. Let me tell you, that perfect moment never comes. Comfort zones kill more dreams than failure ever will. You know why? Because failure teaches you something, pushes you, humbles you, grows you. But comfort lulls you to sleep. It whispers, you might lose. Don't step out. People might laugh. Don't take that risk. What if it doesn't work? And while you listen to that voice, quietly dies, not all at once. No, it dies slowly. First, you stop believing. Then you stop trying. Then one day you wake up and realize you're surviving. You've got a paycheck, but not passion. You've got routine, but no purpose. I remember when I was broke, sleeping in my car, washing up in hotel bathrooms between comedy gigs. I had a dream, man. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to make people laugh. I wanted to use my gift. Comfort kept trying to call me back. I could have gone back home. I could have taken a safe job, played it easy, told myself, at least I tried. But something inside me said, no, stay uncomfortable until you make it. And that decision to live in discomfort for a season is what opened every door after. People see success and think it's built on talent or luck. It's not. It's built on the willingness to be uncomfortable. Every person you admire, every entrepreneur, artist, leader, they all had to walk away from comfort. They had to risk embarrassment, rejection, failure, to jump without a parachute and trust that their faith would carry them. That's the price of greatness, discomfort. But see, most people don't want to pay that price. They want the reward, but not the risk. They want the destination, but not the detour. And that's why they stay stuck. You can't pray for elevation and still cling to comfort. You can't say, God, take me higher, while you're holding on to everything that keeps you grounded. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, but so is regret. You ever met an older person who looks back on their life and says, I wish I would? That's the sound of comfort winning. That's what it looks like when fear has the final word. Don't be that person. Don't let your potential die in a comfort zone. One day, your future self will either thank you for your courage or resent you for your comfort. You've got to train yourself to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's where the magic happens. That's where growth happens. The moment you step out, even if you're scared, if you don't know what's next, that's when life starts to open up. Opportunities you never saw start to appear. People you never thought you'd meet show up. Doors you didn't know existed begin to open. But none of that happens inside the safety of routine. Think about it. A seed can't grow in comfort. It has to be buried and pushed through dirt before it ever sees sunlight. A butterfly can't fly unless it struggles out of the cocoon. The struggle is necessary for strength. Without discomfort, you never develop wings. So if life feels hard, if you feel stretched, if you feel uncertain, good, that means you're growing. You're in motion. People will tell you, don't risk it, don't dream too big, just be grateful. And yes, grateful. But don't confuse gratitude with settling. You can thank God for where you are and still believe for more. Gratitude keeps you grounded, ambition makes you grow. Both, but comfort wants you to choose one, to stop dreaming, to stop moving, to just accept life as it is. And if you do that, never know what could have been. The truth is, comfort feels good right now, but it costs you later. Discomfort feels bad right now, but it pays off forever. Every moment you choose to stretch yourself, you build a version of you that's stronger, wiser, more capable. And every time you choose comfort, you stay the same, become new doing the same old things. You can't grow if you never let go. Maybe your comfort zone is a job. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a city, lifestyle, a mindset. Whatever it is, if it's keeping you from growing, you need to step out of it. Don't wait for confidence to show up. Courage comes first. Confidence grows only after you've taken the risk. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. Nobody does. You just need to start. You take one step, path appears. You keep moving and your purpose becomes clearer. But none of that will happen while you're sitting still. Something from the heart. Life is not about staying safe. It's about becoming who you were meant to be. And that only happens when you get uncomfortable. Risk it all for what matters most. When you decide that fear will not be the reason you settle for average. Every dream you have lives just outside your comfort zone. That's where the magic is. That's where the miracles happen. But you've got to step out and meet them because they won't come find you. You've got to jump even if your knees shake. You've got to move even when you don't see the full staircase. That's faith. That's growth. That's living. You were not created to sit still, to soar. You were built to create, to lead, to inspire, to overcome. But none of that can happen while you're hiding inside what's easy. Easy road doesn't lead to greatness. It just leads to mediocrity dressed as peace. And deep down, you know you're meant for more than that. So if you hear this right now, your sign. Get up, move, take that first step, make that call, start that project, leave what no longer grows you. Step into the unknown. The unknown is where your potential lies. Don't be afraid of the discomfort. Embrace it. It's the sign that you're alive, that you're evolving, finally chasing something worth catching. And one day when you look back, you'll thank yourself for every moment you chose courage over comfort. That's the day your life truly began. You can't soar if you never leap. That's one of the realest truths about life. It's the one thing that scares people the most. Everybody wants to fly. Everybody wants success, freedom, purpose. But very few are willing to jump off the edge and take that first leap of faith. See, life doesn't hand you wings while you're standing on the ground. Show up only after you jump. That's the deal. The problem is most people never jump because they're waiting for guarantees. They want to see the landing before they leap. They want proof that everything will work out, that they won't fall, that their dream will be safe. That's not how life works. Faith means moving when there's no map. It means believing in something you can't see yet. You can pray all day for change. You move your feet, nothing shifts. When I first started chasing my dream, I didn't have a backup plan. I was broke, scared, sleeping in my car, tell jokes for gas money. But I knew one thing. If I stayed where I was, I'd never become who I was meant to be. That's what jumping looks like. It's messy, scary, it's uncertain, but it's necessary. You can't stand on the cliff forever thinking about the jump. The longer you wait, the heavier your fears get, and after a while, that fear becomes a habit. It convinces you that the ledge is safer than the sky. But you were never built for the ledge. You were built to fly. The truth is, first leap will hurt. When you're going to hit some rocks, you'll scrape up. You'll doubt yourself. You'll cry. You'll wonder if you made a mistake. Might laugh at you. Some might even walk away. But every bruise, every scar, every stumble, that's proof you're alive. That's proof you tried. Isn't punishment. It's preparation. Your parachute doesn't open right away because it's still being built midair. God is stitching it together while you're falling. And just when you think you're done, when you think you can't take it anymore, that parachute opens and suddenly everything you went through makes sense. See, the people who make it in life aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who jumped when others froze. They took the risk, trusted their vision, and they refused to live small. Most people want to see the staircase before they climb, but success only shows you the next step. You've got to move even when you can't see the rest. The dream doesn't come with instructions. It comes with inspiration, and it's up to you to act on it. Think about a bird. A baby bird doesn't know it can fly until it jumps out of the nest. It doesn't have flying lessons, it just has instinct. And that instinct says, now, figure it out on the way down. You have that same instinct. Deep inside you, there's a pull that keeps whispering, go for it. But you silence it because of fear. Fear of failing, fear of losing, fear of looking foolish. What you don't realize is that fear is part of the process. Successful person you've ever admired has felt it. They were scared too. The only difference is they jumped scared. They leapt before they were ready. They moved before they had the money, before they had the plan, before they had the support. And that's why they soar now. The world doesn't reward hesitation. Courage, every dream waiting for you, is sitting on the other side of one brave decision. One leap. Here's the thing. The leap doesn't just take you to success. It changes you. The moment you jump, something shifts inside. Stop being the person who wonders and become the person who acts. You stop asking, what if I fall? And start believing, if I fly? That mindset is the real miracle. That's the transformation that opens every door afterward. You might say, what if I'm not ready? You're never fully ready. Nobody is. You prepare as much as you can. But the final step, the leap, will always require faith. Always have doubts, always have fears, always have reasons to wait. But waiting doesn't build wings, jumping does. The longer you wait, smaller your courage gets. The longer you stand on the edge, the harder it becomes to move. That's why you've got to leap now. Not tomorrow, not next month when things settle. Right now. Because every second you delay, you give fear another inch of your future. And don't let people talk you out of your jump. People who tell you not to risk it are speaking from their own fear, not wisdom. They didn't jump, and they want you to stay grounded too. Misery loves company. Comfort loves a crowd. But destiny walks alone. You'll lose some people on your way up, but that's fine. They weren't meant to fly at your altitude. Doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees growth. Even if you fail, you won't be the same. You'll come back wiser, sharper, stronger. Every leap teaches you something about yourself that standing still never could. And eventually, one of those leaps will carry you exactly where you were meant to be. Back and realize that the scariest jump of your life was the best decision you ever made. So, ask yourself, what's keeping you on the edge? What dream have you talked yourself out of because you're waiting for perfect timing? There's no perfect time. There's just now. The leap doesn't wait. Life won't wait. If you don't jump, you'll spend the rest of your life watching others live the dream you were too afraid to chase. Don't let that happen. Don't let fear steal your flight. Close your eyes for a second and imagine what your life could look like if you jumped. If you really went all in on that idea, that business, purpose. Imagine waking up excited instead of tired. Imagine being proud of the risks you took instead of haunted by the ones you didn't. That vision you just saw, that's not fantasy. That's your potential waiting for you to leap. The world needs what you've got. Your gift, your story, voice. Somebody out there is waiting for it. But they'll never see it if you stay grounded. You don't need to have everything figured out. Need to have enough courage to take that first step. That's how every dream begins, one jump of faith at a time. So take a deep breath. Look over that edge and do it anyway, because you can't soar if you never leap. And once you do, discover that the sky you've been staring at your whole life isn't a limit. It's your home. The fall is part of the flight. Don't like to hear that because everyone wants to believe success is a straight path upward. That once you make the decision to chase your dream, starts to work out. But that's not how life plays the game. The moment you jump, the moment you take that leap of faith, gravity pulls you down. The wind hits hard. The fear becomes real. You start wondering if you made a mistake, if you should have stayed where it was safe. But the truth is, every fall you experience on the way up is part of the process that makes you strong enough to stay in the air once your parachute finally opens. Falling doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're moving. It means you had the courage to leave the ground. Nobody ever learned how to fly by standing still. You've got to jump. You've got to fall. And in that free fall, you learn who you really are. Discover your strength, your endurance, your faith. The fall teaches lessons that success never could. It strips away your pride, your comfort, your excuses. forces you to find out what's truly inside you. Every successful person has a story about their fall. You just don't see it because most people only show the flight, show the awards, the cars, the applause, the spotlight. But what you don't see are the nights they cried, the doors that closed, the people who left. They almost gave up. Those were the falls, the moments that built their wings. The reason they can fly now is because they learned how to survive the fall without quitting. When you're falling, it feels like everything's against you. People who said they'd support you disappear. The plan you thought was perfect starts to crumble. The money runs out. The rejection emails pile up. The phone stops ringing. Start questioning your worth, your gift, your calling. But let me tell you something. That's the refining season. That's where God shapes you, sharpens you, prepares you for the flight you prayed for. You can't skip that season because if your parachute opened too early, you wouldn't be ready to handle what's waiting at the top. See, the fall humbles you. It teaches patience, discipline, gratitude, forces you to depend on faith instead of certainty. When everything is falling apart, that's when your real character shows up. Anyone can smile when life is good. When you're falling, when you're broke, tired, doubting yourself, that's when the test comes. And if you can hold on through that, you can stay committed to your vision while the ground is rushing toward you. That's when life opens up in ways you never imagined. You can't avoid the fall. Pray it away. You can't fast forward through it. Because the fall is where your strength is built. It's like a seed planted in the dirt. It's got to be buried before it can grow. It's dark, it's quiet, and it feels lonely down there. That's where the roots form. That's where growth begins. The seed doesn't see the sunlight yet, but it keeps pushing upward, trusting that what's above the dirt is worth the struggle. That's exactly what your fall is doing, preparing you to rise stronger. Sometimes, when people start falling, panic and quit. They think the dream isn't meant for them because it's hard. But difficulty isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign you're getting closer. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Falling doesn't mean you missed your chance. It means you're in motion. Worst thing you can do is let fear of the fall stop you from ever jumping again, because every fall brings wisdom. Every failure brings clarity. You fall, you learn, you adjust, and next time you soar higher. When I first started my career, I fell more times than I can count. I got booed off stage, fired from jobs, lost relationships, almost gave up more than once. There were days I thought, maybe this isn't for me. But every time I hit that low point, something inside said, back up. And every comeback made me stronger. Every fall taught me something I couldn't have learned any other way. If I had given up during those seasons, I'd never have become the man standing on TV, telling the world to jump. The fall will make you feel like you're alone, but you're not. Fall is crowded. It's where dreamers live before they rise. Everyone who's ever accomplished something great has been there. You're in good company. Is not to panic. Don't mistake temporary struggle for permanent defeat. The ground is not your destination, it's your teacher. You only fail if you stop getting back up. You've got to trust that the pain has purpose. You've got to believe that there's a reason for the chaos if you can't see it yet. Because when your parachute finally opens, and you'll look back and realize that every fall was part of your training. The wind that scared you was the same wind that lifted you. The rocks that cut you were the same ones that built your resilience. Drop that made you cry was the same one that made you grateful when you finally started to fly. People say, I just want to win. But you can't win without falling first. You can't appreciate success if you've never tasted loss. Handle blessings if you've never handled brokenness. The fall gives you perspective. It teaches you how to manage the top without losing yourself. Once you've fallen and survived, you stop fearing the next one. You start realizing, even if I fall again, I know how to rise. That's power. That's freedom. Falling right now. If you feel like nothing's working, like you're losing control, hold on. You're not at the end. You're in progress. Fall isn't your failure, it's your flight path. You just haven't reached the open sky yet. Keep believing, keep pushing, keep trusting. The fall doesn't last forever. And when it's over, the view will make every bruise worth it. The fall is part of the flight. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's life's way of making sure that when your parachute opens, you're ready for the altitude. So don't be afraid of the fall. Learn from it. Let it teach you, stretch you, and mold you. Because without the fall, there is no flight. And without the struggle, there is no story. Proof you're in motion. That sentence alone can change the way you see everything you're going through right now. Taught to believe that pain means something's wrong, that if we're hurting, we must have taken a wrong turn. But the truth is, punishment, it's progress. When you're stretching, growing, evolving into who you're meant to be. Pain is the signal that you're moving beyond your limits. It's the evidence that you're alive, that you're not stuck in the same place you were yesterday. The only people who don't feel pain are the ones who have stopped trying. You can't climb higher without feeling pressure. You can't lift heavier without strain. You can't build muscle without tearing something first. That's what pain is, the tearing of your old self to make room for the new one. Every time you go through hardship, you're being refined, reshaped, prepared for something greater. The pain is part of the process that molds you into the kind of person who can handle what you've been praying for. You think you're being broken, but you're actually being built. When you're chasing a dream, pain is guaranteed. Be moments when it feels like the world is pushing back, when doors close, when people doubt you, when things fall apart. That's the universe testing your commitment, asking, how bad do you want it? Because anyone can dream when it's comfortable, but only the truly determined keep going when it hurts. Pain weeds out the half-hearted. It separates the talkers from the doers. Every step that burns is proof that you're still in the game. You have to start seeing pain differently. Start respecting it. Pain is a teacher, one of the best you'll ever have. It doesn't speak in comfort, it speaks in lessons. It teaches you endurance, patience, empathy, humility. It shows you what you can survive. You don't know your strength until life forces you to use it. Pass. And once you've made it through something that almost broke you, you start walking differently. With confidence, with gratitude, with power. Now you know you can handle whatever comes next. Think about an athlete. Every day they train, they push their body to its limits. It hurts. Their muscles burn, their lungs ache, but they don't stop. They understand that the pain is necessary. It's not there to punish them. It's there to prepare them for the win. Soreness is proof of growth. It's the same with life. Emotional, mental, spiritual pain. It's stretching your capacity, building your resilience, preparing your character. Every challenge you overcome adds strength to your spirit. There were times in my own journey when the pain felt unbearable. Nights I cried, times I questioned everything, my talent, my purpose, even my worth. But looking back, I realized those were the exact moments that shaped me. Every setback, every loss, every heartbreak taught me something I couldn't have learned in comfort. Pain was the reason I grew up. Pain was the reason I kept pushing. Without it, I would have stayed the same man, dreaming small and living safe. The problem with most people is that they confuse pain with failure. They think if it hurts, doing something wrong. No, sometimes it hurts because you're doing something right. Growth hurts. Change hurts. Healing hurts. Becoming who you're meant to be hurts. But that pain is the proof that transformation is happening. Just like a diamond is created under pressure and a butterfly breaks free through struggle, you can't reach your full potential without friction. When life gets heavy, you've got to remind yourself the pain is temporary, but the reward is permanent. Every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every disappointment, it's adding up. It's building your story. You're not going through this for nothing. Pain always pays you back with strength. You might not see it now, but one day you'll look back and say, that season broke me open, and that's where I found my wings. It's easy to praise when everything's good. It's easy to believe when life's going your way. Real faith is built in the dark. It's built when nothing makes sense, when the pain won't stop, when you have to trust that all this struggle is leading somewhere. That's when your faith becomes real. Pain deepens your faith because it forces you to lean on something greater than yourself. Stop relying on your plan and start trusting your purpose. And let me tell you something. The people who've been through pain are the ones who make the biggest impact. Struggle. They can connect, empathize, inspire. Their scars become stories that help others heal. That's what pain does. It connects humanity. Been through something hard and made it out. You carry light that can guide someone else through their darkness. That's how your pain becomes purpose. There's no glory without a grind. Everyone wants the victory, but nobody wants the suffering that comes before it. But that suffering is where the magic happens. Character is built, vision is tested, and destiny is shaped. If you can push through the pain, if you can keep walking when your heart's heavy, you'll reach heights you never thought possible. Most people quit right before it gets good. They stop when it hurts, realizing that pain is the signal that breakthrough is near. When you feel that burn in your soul, that ache in your heart, don't retreat. Lean in. That's your indicator that you're alive, that you're becoming. Every great story has conflict, and you're in the middle of yours. This chapter might hurt. It's not the ending. Keep going. The pain won't last, but the strength it gives you will. One day you'll tell your story, and the part that once made you cry will make others believe. The pain that once broke you will be the same pain that built your purpose. Every tear, every failure, heartbreak, it all had meaning. You just couldn't see it then because you were still in motion. So when it hurts, when you want to give up, remember this: pain is proof. You're moving. It means you're stretching beyond who you were yesterday. It means you're in the fight. You're becoming the person your future needs you to be. Don't run from the pain. Rise through it. Because when you do, won't just survive the storm. You'll become the lightning. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself. That one truth separates dreamers from achievers, talkers from doers, and the average from the exceptional. Most people spend their lives waiting for validation, waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough, talented enough, or ready enough. But the reality is, no one is ever going to hand you confidence. You have to create it. The moment you stop seeking approval and start trusting your own vision, that's when your life truly begins to change. See, believing in yourself doesn't mean arrogance. It means awareness. It means knowing that inside you, something powerful, something worth fighting for, even when the world can't see it yet. Person who ever achieved greatness had moments where they were laughed at, doubted, or dismissed. But they didn't stop. They had a voice inside that said, keep going, got this. And that voice, that belief, is what carried them through every no, every setback, every lonely night of work. The truth is, need everyone's approval to move forward, you'll never move far. Because people's opinions are temporary and their understanding is limited. Will doubt you simply because your dreams remind them of what they gave up on. Others will project their fears onto you, saying it's impossible because they couldn't do it. You can't let their limitations become your reality. You can't live your life trying to prove something to people who don't even believe in themselves. Your vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. About every great innovator, artist, or leader. When Steve Jobs said he was going to put a computer in every home, people called him crazy. Oprah said she wanted to build a media empire. People told her she didn't fit the image. When Elon Musk talked about colonizing Mars, people laughed. What do they all have in common? They believed before anyone else did. They didn't wait for permission. They trusted their own conviction. What self-belief looks like. It's the fuel that burns when everything else runs out. Sometimes you'll be the only one who sees the vision clearly. That's okay. People don't have to understand your dream to witness its success later. You don't owe explanations, you owe execution. When you believe in yourself, stop defending your dream and start building it. The world respects results, not opinions. And the only way to get results is to move. Even when you're scared, even when you feel alone, even when no one claps for you. Self-belief isn't loud, it's steady. It's that quiet determination that says, I'll figure it out. It's waking up every day and choosing to keep going despite doubt. It's trusting that if you keep showing up, the path will reveal itself. Times when you question everything, your choice is your timing, even your worth. But that's part of the process. Growth always tests belief. It's easy to believe when things are working, but real belief shows up when nothing is. That's when you prove to yourself that your faith is stronger than your fear. No one sees the private battles that belief requires. The nights you stay up worrying, the moments you almost quit, the sacrifices no one thanks you for. Those are the moments that define you. Because when you keep believing through the silence, through the doubt, through the grind, you build an unshakable foundation. You start to realize that you don't need outside applause when your inner voice is strong. And here's something powerful. When you truly believe in yourself, it starts to meet you halfway. Opportunities begin to show up. People begin to notice your energy. Doors begin to open that were once locked. It's not magic, it's alignment. The world responds to conviction. When you move like you belong in the room, you start to attract the right rooms. Confidence is magnetic, not because you're perfect, but because you're authentic. But don't confuse self-belief with perfection. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll never fail. It means you won't let failure define you. It means you'll learn, adjust, and come back stronger. Failure is just feedback. Every mistake is a lesson. Every delay is redirection. The more you believe in yourself, the less you see obstacles as endings, and the more you see them as stepping stones. There's a kind of peace that comes when you stop needing validation. You realize that your value isn't determined by likes, comments, or opinions. Finally understand that not everyone's supposed to get you. And that's perfectly fine. Your belief doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to convince the world. You just need to convince yourself. The truth is, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you confidence or clarity or courage. You build those by moving forward, by taking risks, by betting on yourself when no one else will. And the moment you decide that your dream is worth more than their doubt, that's the moment your life changes forever. Remember, great story begins with one person saying, I can. That's it. That's the seed. And when you water it with consistency, faith, and effort, it grows into something unstoppable. You might not be there yet, but you're closer than you think. Every day you believe a little more, you become a little stronger. Every time you silence your doubt, you amplify your destiny. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect time and the perfect opportunity, perfect version of yourself. Start now. Believe now, because belief isn't about what you have. It's about who you decide to be. You already have everything you need to win. You just need to trust it. You don't need everyone to see the vision. Just you. You don't need everyone to cheer. Just the courage to keep moving. Because once you believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. People may not understand it, they'll feel it. And one day, the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. And you'll smile because deep down, you'll know you did it because you believed when no one else did.